Peabody's had a proud cello tradition over many decades. Stephen Cates, Virgile built a strong tradition here. And what Amit brings and adds to that tradition is the role of a performer and a teacher and someone who balances those in what I'd call a virtuous circle. What he brings in his performing, he puts back into his teaching, and the way that he teaches students from diverse backgrounds influences performing, and it makes him always learn for himself and constantly reevaluate how he wants to teach different pieces. It keeps it fresh, keeps it alive.
His students love to perform. That says boatloads right there. They want to get out there and they want to make it happen. They're willing to take risks, which is what live performance ends up being all about. And it's certainly about him too, and I'm not talking crazy risk, but you have to throw yourself at the music. You have to be willing to take that chance to make the shift, to make the phrase, to bring the energy.
Performing with him in the Haydn, that was like one of the coolest experiences, I think, just to not only be witnessing him perform and how cool that is, but at the same time to like participate in it as well. The fact that he incorporated his own students. He has such a specific teaching method, and I can really see the things that he is teaching me in his own cello playing. I witness it technically all the time. So it's nice to know that that's not just something that he's telling us to do because we're younger and we're still in this stage of learning. Like, he applies it to his everyday performance life as well.
Greenhouse was the one who, first of all, emphasized on what is your voice. And it was very interesting because when he sang to me a phrase, it sounded like his cello sound. He found it back then, at age 81, he found the connection between his voice and his cello. And when he would demonstrate something with his voice, he would take the cello and it would sound the same. And that was, for me, maybe the best lesson. How can I find that direct line between my voice and my fingers, so this will become my voice? And that's what I'm trying so hard to bring or to give to my students, that when they leave this room, they will be judged by their voice, and they will have to look for that voice in their playing, in their life.
Now whatever. Again, this is the harmony. Yes. Now go. Open up the sound. No. Don't give us yet a surprise. Not yet. No, not yet. Not yet. Now. Pull from below the string.
He's a very passionate player, but it definitely rests on a bedrock of solid physical technique, of being able to do the things that his interpretations require. And he builds it from the music on out, but it's all resting on a very solid understanding of how to pull tone from the cello and what playing in tune is about and what playing a phrase is about. You know, young students come and they grab a lesson and they go, wow, that was fun. I could see a couple years of that. And his students do well here. You know, they really do. It's fun to see that as well. They grow and they prosper.
Ready? Ready? Elbows.
He sometimes plays in lessons, like either what I'm playing or excerpts from other pieces. Then I'm like, oh crap, I'm terrible. How do I get better? Listen, listen, observe. I'm trying to observe every little thing he does, just watching like a hawk.
But a little surprise. This bar. So how can you? Is it tie or ti-dam? When you teach people, human beings, that becomes afterwards friends and very close acquaintance of you, you touch their life in a way that affect them and could theoretically affect their children and their students later on. It's, for me, much deeper than creating one phrase that can touch somebody and then be gone. When you work with a student in 4 years very intensively and you get to know them and you get to know the weaknesses and strong parts of their artistic personality, you can, it's like strings that you pull, you push and you pull them. And you help, you're not the one and only one, but you help them become who they are. You did it.
I did it!
Yay!
Great. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
So I talked to the conductor, you were really the best. And Fleischer was on the jury.
I know, I saw that.
No cellist on the jury, nobody can blame me that I was there.
Exactly.
And you won.
Yes.
Great.
People talk about like the studio family, the cello studio family, and I definitely feel like I'm a part of that with him, which is not how I felt, not because of teachers in the past, but it's a mixture of like the teacher's relationship with everyone and also the studio mates' relationships with each other. So it's good to have that community here.
The amazing thing about it is to see the young students, the new ones, very shy, not wanting to speak, not wanting to share or to be part of the cello family that I'm trying to create here. And slowly through the studies here, they become part of us and they become very articulated, very critical with their colleagues. And it's beautiful to see that not only that they are using my vocabulary, which is not with perfect English, but they're using my expressions and my language of how to approach the cello. They detect their own problems in their colleagues. And often we will hear students say, oh, your shifts are not so good and you're not doing actually the 3 elements of the shift that I've been working on as well. And now I understand what Amit is saying about it. And then they go back to their practice room and they work on it from a different angle. And many times they'll come back to the next lesson and the shift will be much better because of their comment in studio class, because they could visually see their own problem being alive on another student. Can you play? Shorter. Now. Here is Pablo Casals' cello. Pablo Casals played as a child for Brahms. He played the Brahms E minor sonata for Brahms. And then he taught my teacher, Greenhouse, with his cello. And now I'm sitting here at Peabody in Baltimore in 2012, and I teach on a daily basis the Brahms E minor sonata, and I played it for Greenhouse, who played it for Casals, who played it for Brahms, and here I have his instrument. It's too special to even find words to describe it. And I feel it's not a burden, it's responsibility in a way to pass on what I was so privileged to get from Greenhouse. The one sentence that he always said is, Amit, at the end of the day, you'll be judged by your voice. It's your voice that will define who you are as a musician. The whole atmosphere here is a conservatory where performers are sharing their ideas and knowledge and experience with students who want to become performers. And that's very important.